welcome to another episode of Dos and a Half Cincos. This is episode 120. This week we cover Hustle in our movie of the week. But before we get into it, as always, I'm your host, David.
I'm Stuart.
And there's no Ben.
And I'm Ben.
Yeah. No, we need to put the applause sound clip in there.
Oh, yeah.
Woo.
Yeah, hit the soundboard.
Yeah, back by popular demand. No Ben this week.
Yeah, Diet Cincos. Same Cinco flavor, no Ben.
Less sodium.
Yeah.
Half the amount of sodium.
No no MSG.
Yeah, I think Ben is just propped up by MSG. That's how he survives.
You know what's funny?
Preserved.
I have a family member who was staying with us for a while, and they were like, "Oh, where do you guys have your
MSG?"
And I was like, "What?" Because she was cooking. I was like, "Oh, you actually, MSG." I'm like, "Oh, we don't have any." Like,
this is America, dude. We have signs dedicated towards not having MSG.
But yeah, I guess that's a thing for her. It's like, oh, it's like anytime she cooks, she always adds it.
Dude, it's not gonna taste good this time.
Man, this food sucks. What happened? And you said no MSG. Oh.
Well, okay. So I trust you've been caught up on The Boys and Obi-Wan and that kind of stuff.
You would be lied to because I am not caught up on either of those. Although, I mean, as far as Obi-Wan, I haven't seen the most recent episode, and I have not started The Boys because
you're gonna wait till the whole thing's released and then just really binge the crap out of it, huh?
Possibly, but the reason why is because I had started Stranger Things.
Oh, do you even remember? Do you feel like when you started this new season that things were kind of like really out of sorts? You're like, wait, what happened in the previous season? I feel like most places I have like pretty good recollection and there's like a pretty good tie-in, but for some reason this season is just so out of left field for me.
I don't know. Well, I went back before I started. I went back and watched the last episode of the previous season just to kind of refresh my memory, like what was all going on. And I mean, I don't know if I felt that way. I mean, obviously they have to advance it because all the actors are older now and they're not like little kids anymore. But one thing I was gonna say about I don't remember her character name.
11.
No,
Nancy.
She's one of the side characters, not Nancy. She's the
Max?
one. No, not Max. The other one.
Boy.
The one that was Steve's friend in the ice cream shop, or his coworker. And now she's like part of the gang.
What's her face? Robin.
Yeah.
Who's also a closet, but not closet lesbian.
Yeah. Her. I don't know I don't know if it's like if the writers or what they were wanting to get her more involved or get her more like screen presence, but I don't recall her being such like a neurotic mess in the previous, like when they introduced her. Like now she's like talking really fast and being really awkward, and like she even mentioned like she doesn't pick up on social cues, so it's like almost like she has like a high level autism or something. Or is that Asperger's? I don't remember.
Yeah. Or maybe she's just a teenager. I mean, this is what they're supposed to do, right?
No, but I feel like when they introduced her in the previous season, she was kind of like the whatever, almost like Daria. Like,
oh, I see what you're saying. Right.
Yeah, just kind of more toned down.
So quickly.
Yeah, yeah. And now suddenly she's talking really fast, and she has a lot of weird things to say, and she's getting in everyone's face, and blah 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 blah. Like, this seems like a departure from how they introduced her. But so I don't know if they're just trying to get her more involved or what. But
well, they're definitely not above changing character arcs. I mean, the Duffer Brothers, apparently Steve Harrington at the end of season 1 was supposed to die.
At the end of season 1?
At the end of season 1, but because of the fact they liked Joe Keery so much, right? They rewrote it so that way he would live and they would kind of keep going.
I think that was a good call, because I think that was kind of a good arc for him to go on, like, because he kind of started off as kind of like almost like an antagonist.
Yeah.
Right? And then but then like he kind of became kind of like almost like in like Game of Thrones, like Jaime Lannister, like everyone starts off hating him, but then it's like, oh wait, I actually
he's
kind of
kind
like
of
him now.
reasonable, right? I could see that. Yeah, but actually, it's been funny because of the fact that there was kind of like this disjoint in how we felt about season 4 and all the other ones. Irene started watching them backwards, so she watched 4, then watched 3, then 2, and then 1. She got to season 1, and I started watching it with her, and I was like, "Who are these little babies that are on screen?"
Yeah, they're like, I know if I were to go back and look, like it'd be like night and day. Like Jesus, they're so
Dude,
little.
yeah, like Gatton, who plays Dustin. I was like,
Mhm.
he didn't even have teeth back then.
Yeah, that was actually
So
one of like my favorite aspects of when I first watched Stranger Things was like Dustin's character just like not having teeth because it just made him seem so childish.
yep,
Like,
we have like a baby.
yeah,
Probably was from the Vale and was still nursing from his mother's teat.
wow.
Yeah, see, cross we do crazy things when Ben's not here. Anything else you watched this week besides Hustle?
um, yeah, I watched Top Gun for the third time. Uh, yeah, I gotta say it's still just as good on the third watch. Uh,
Did you wish they kind of had like a double feature thing at the
yeah. If
theater
someone
where
had
you
a
would watch that in IMAX, and then right after that you obviously had like a 10 or 15-minute break to get concessions again, but then do Maverick right afterwards?
yeah, that would have been cool. I don't remember seeing if anyone was doing that, but that would have been pretty
Mm,
cool to do that. One thing I noticed this before, but I never brought it up. But one other kind of component to the movie that I liked, I appreciated at least. I think going leading up to the movie, there was some controversy about um, Maverick's old jacket having the Taiwanese flag on it,
I did see that.
and that they had like in one of the trailers they had like removed it so that it was some other thing.
Hmm.
And then in the movie, once the actual movie is released, it's actually the same jacket and the same patch with the Taiwanese flag on it. So I thought that was good. Now, maybe in like the Chinese release they won't have it, but
Oh, no. The back will say it'll
Taiwan
be
number
just
one.
no China
Oh,
number 1,
oh.
Taiwan pot of China, like something like that.
So yeah, that was good. I went with my coworker who was like really, he really liked it.
Maverick or the original Top Gun?
Maverick.
Oh,
I don't think
is
everyone I've heard who like I've heard on like YouTube or whatever who's seen it like is just they're just like everyone's in love with it.
my thing is like it's so crazy how many people haven't seen Top Gun.
Ben.
Yeah, exactly. And then also on top of that, are you one of those people who watches it every year on Top Gun Day? I've never actually.
Is there a Top Gun day? Because
There is.
I should participate now.
Yeah, and just look it up. Top Gun Day. They have merchandise and they make it a whole thing. I was like, dude, I don't know a single movie that has that big of a following after just one, right? Star Wars makes sense because
Hmm.
it's a trilogy, and then it became a whole series, right? Same thing with Hunger Games, same thing with, the Harry Potter stuff. But like, I don't know a single film that I can think of that has made such an impact that people like just like, all right, this is the thing now after just one movie. It's the most 80s of movies, but
Yeah.
you know.
I mean, maybe The Room, but The Room doesn't have its own day, I guess. So,
That's true,
but it
but
does have
yeah.
a huge cult following.
Hmm. Well, I mean, there's a lot of those that are like that, right? Like the Rocky Horror Picture Show, same thing. Like some of the other ones as well. But I don't know if it's kind of done the same thing. But whatever. All right. For me, I watched the Batman again, and it's so good. It's so darn good. I could care less about what all the other people were like complaining about. I was like, man, this is so good. I don't know how anybody could make any gripes about this. We've never seen Batman do that kind of stuff before or be
Yeah.
like that. So whatever. All right. Let's see. Record time, 10 minutes in. All right. Box office rundown. We'll make this really, really quick. At number one, no surprise, Jurassic World Dominion with $145 million. Number two, Top Gun Maverick. Number
Yay.
three, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, which I believe is coming to Disney Plus later this month, or unless the commercial's wrong. Number 4, The Bad Guys, 2.5. Number 5, The Bob's Burgers Movie. Number 6, Downton Abbey, A New Era. Number 7, Everything Everywhere All at Once, which is now on streaming. Well, you can rent it on Prime Video. Number 8, up from 21, is Firestarter. Number 9, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, also available on streaming. Number 10, some Indian movie. Ante
Why does it seem like
Sundar.
these Bollywood movies are creeping into the like?
Well, if you think about it, we're still not back to like pre-pandemic like movie theaters where it's like every movie is like 7, 8, 10, 15, 20 million. I mean,
Right.
this one's 620,000, so if they even break $1 million, like you're in the top 5 pretty much. Falling out of the top 10 is The Lost City, which is also on streaming, I believe, on Paramount Plus. Number 12, and down from number 10 is Crimes of the Future. Yeah, I don't know, like, but I feel like they're just really just pushing the Bollywood movies in
Yeah.
recently. So
Maybe
that's
they've
why I
always
was
been there. We just never noticed. 'Cause-
actually, let's find out really quick because we got that kind of time. Before the pandemic was what, 2020, 2019. Let's go take a look. 2019, the same week, the lowest grossing movie in the top 10 was Booksmart with $1.5 million. The next movie right after that is Bharat, which is a Bollywood movie. That was number 12 with 1.2. So if you never even broke $1 million, you weren't even in it. At that same time, just for kicks and giggles, number 1 was Secret Life of Pets with 46 million. Number 2 was X-Men Dark Phoenix, which we kind of covered at one point. The live action Aladdin movie with $24 million. So it was kind of a weak box office at the beginning of June, but yeah. Oh, John Wick Chapter 3 was still here.
What?
4 weeks in. Yeah. Well, I mean, we're looking at like June 7th through
Uh,
9th of 2019. So just wanted to see, like, maybe we not notice the number of Indian films, but I guess not. Comments, questions, concerns.
um.
No.
Well, as
Okay.
far as kind of like a for some foreshadowing or whatever, um, I'm not really looking forward to next week's movie of the week because I've
What?
heard it's not great.
Thor: Love and Thunder?
Oh, are we not? Okay, so we're not doing Jurassic Park.
I mean, we could, but Ben
I mean,
really
I'd rather
doesn't
do
want to.
Thor if Thor's coming out next week, but
Well, you mean this week?
or whatever, whichever
Yeah.
week, the next one.
Opening this week is Lightyear. I thought
Oh, you mean so this
Thor.
week is Lightyear then? Not it's not going to be Jurassic Park.
No, I'm not going to force you guys to watch that if you guys don't want to.
What
Even
Jurassic
though
Park?
it is the worst reviewed out of all of the Jurassic Parks, and I feel like we're just in a downward trend where they have milked the crap out of this so
Yeah, I
badly that
think
it's
it's
just there's
done.
nothing left. Stop
Yeah,
squeezing.
stop it. Next thing is going to be dinosaurs in space or something.
Wait, are you telling me that we're gonna have a Jurassic Park slash Fast and Furious crossover? I am
Yep.
now sold. I am back in, people.
Yeah. Um, but it is nice to see that the movie I just mentioned, Top Gun Maverick, looks like it's the number one movie still as far as domestic
Box office, right?
box office.
Well, no. This week's domestic box office was Jurassic Park Dominion with
No, I mean
145.
total, not
Oh,
week, not for the week.
domestic total actually is Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness with
No, not
three
for
ninety
what
eight.
I'm looking because Top Gun has 401.
Oh, well, I guess if you're gonna
Your
throw in
information's outdated. David.
additional $6 million, it's fine.
Yeah, because I
I
saw
was
it.
still obsessing over the thought of Dominic Toretto or Vin Diesel riding a Velociraptor, and then The Rock jumping on a Tyrannosaurus Rex. This would be great in space.
Yeah,
That's what needs to happen. My
I hope
God,
this. I hope
dinosaurs have developed.
one of the reasons why I've seen it 3 times, not just because I liked it, but it's kind of I was just kind of like my way of trying to like signal to Hollywood, or at least help signal to Hollywood these are the kinds of movies that people like,
Mm.
and when it's done properly. Um, So hopefully, seeing that amount of money from a non tentpole studio like Marvel or
Mm,
whatever
I see.
is like some kind of
Yeah, that
indication.
there's still some hope for blockbuster movies that don't happen to be
Yeah,
Marvel.
yeah, that aren't Disney or Marvel.
Well, apparently I've had a brain aneurysm. I saw that they were releasing tickets early for Thor and Love and Thunder, thinking that it was like this week or next week.
Oh,
Nope, it's not until
that's pretty
July
slow.
8th. So
Oh yeah, what the fuck?
I don't know.
Well, so that has to be the following week, but
Yeah.
oh wait,
So
no.
we're probably the week
I was,
after.
I was looking at my clock. It said 6:28. I'm like, oh, today's the 28th already. Yeah, so that's next week then.
Well, I mean, according to your clock, yes, but
Yeah.
that's not how the calendar works. And I'm thinking the week after that would probably be The Black Phone with Ethan Hawke.
Oh yeah, that'd be good. I want to see that.
Okay.
So we're doing
So
Lightyear then.
Lightyear or well, because Ben doesn't have a vote. I mean,
Yeah, fuck Ben.
I'm gonna probably end up seeing Jurassic Park, but I will wait for it to come
Go to a stream or something.
yeah, to Netflix or whatever. Because I've already I kind of have an idea how this one's gonna go, and I'm like, dude, unless there's dinosaurs in space, I'm not really interested. So yeah, Lightyear will probably be our choice here. All right. Yeah, apparently there's been some fallout from the Johnny Depp Amber Heard thing. People are still saying that she's been canceled from Aquaman 2, but at this point,
Bleh,
who really cares?
bleh. Who gives
Dude,
a shit
you
what
put
she
her you want to
says?
leave her in there so that way she can make money and pay off the massive debt that she owes to
Yeah.
Johnny Depp.
And
Fine
give
by me.
back that alimony
Dude,
that
7
you
million's
got.
only gonna get her halfway there. She owes 15 mil,
Well,
so
that's more than zero. So, oh yeah, shoot, that kind of reminded me too. I totally forgot. Almost kind of like in a celebration of the verdict. I started rewatching all of the Pirates movies.
and
No, I mean that's it. I mean,
oh.
uh, still fun to watch.
Well, if anybody wants to help support him, apparently there is a petition going around to try to get him reinstated
Mhm,
to the Pirates franchise and then greenlighting that next movie. But
yeah. If
we all,
Disney tries to make a Pirates movie without him, it's gonna flop.
hmm, I'm
I
sure
mean,
somebody could replace him, right?
I don't. I mean, I don't. I just don't. Well, in flop in terms of like a Disney flop, where it still makes money, but it's still not as much as it would have been.
My question is, okay, if Captain Jack Sparrow was replaced with Captain Jack Sparrow played by Carl Urban, is that an upgrade or a downgrade?
No, because I couldn't. I'd be too busy. Like I can't stop unsee him as the boys guy. So
Billy Butcher?
butcher, yeah,
Okay.
the butcher.
The Butcher.
But I just don't. I don't know. I mean, I say. I mean, it's just because I haven't given it really any thought. But I feel like he's kind of ingrained as that role. So it's like trying to see anyone else
Well,
either try to play Jack Sparrow, or if they just try to like do all new pirate characters, then
I
I
feel
think
like
if
it's
they
run
try to
its
do all new
course.
pirate characters, it'll flop for sure.
Hmm.
If they try to like recast, then
Oh, like
maybe
reboot the series again?
yeah. If they try to like oh, we're doing new young pirates with whoever,
I don't
young and
know.
hip pirates, but
Oh man. But I mean, before he was Butcher, he was Judge Dredd, and you had no problem seeing that. But he also was wearing a helmet, so
yeah,
I guess that
that
really
was one of
doesn't
the
really
things I
count.
liked was that he was wearing the helmet the whole time.
Hmm. So it could be anybody under that, but
There
whatever.
should be more performances like that where it's not so much like look at my face.
So you're saying the movie The Duel would have been better if he just wore a helmet the entire
Not
movie?
necessarily. It has its time. It has its moments where it can be
Jurassic
good.
Park would be better that way if it was
Well,
in
I mean, you
first
can't just
person.
like force a helmet onto someone out of nowhere. Like it has to make sense. Like the Mandalorian, like
Mm,
having what's his name? I forgot his name.
Mando.
No, the actor name.
Oh,
Pedro Pascal.
yep.
Just wear a helmet, all like basically do his whole performance under a behind a helmet because that's who the character is. That's great, and same thing for Dredd because he has the helmet on the whole time. That's just who he is. That's great. So that's what I'm saying. Like, um,
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's move over to our movie of the week this week. Hustle. Stu, you want to take the honors for this one?
Adam Sandler is a scout with the 17. Says, shut up! And scouting for a new basketball player to play in the it's a basket. I'm trying to do Adam Sandler. I
No,
can't.
I got that.
Yeah,
That's
I
why I was like, I
can't.
didn't say anything.
I feel like the Shat App one was the
Would
dead
you like a
giveaway.
piece of pie?
And he got drafted or scout the new latest basketball player and finds one, but the team doesn't want him because I'm in charge of the team. You don't tell me what to do. But then it was on a journey of getting the basketball player into the NBA.
Perfect. That's it had everything. All right. Stu, thoughts on this?
I gotta say, Adam Sandler's been seems like he's been killing it lately with movies. This he got
Right.
he got a Uncut Gems, and he got this one. Like
This is a cut gem for
this
sure.
is yeah, this was really good. I really enjoyed it. I think not, and I think you can enjoy it even if you're not like a big basketball person. I feel like you can still appreciate the story and just the overall movie. Um, I was a little concerned going into it because I was like, I'm not going to be able to like unsee uh, the Hernan Gomez guy as like a straight up baller. But then once I started watching the movie, I realized, oh wait, I'm thinking of Willie Hernan Gomez or
Oh,
whatever.
from the Pelicans,
Yeah,
not his other brother, who
yeah,
was
so
also in the movie, by the way.
yeah. So I was like, okay, so that helped me get past that because I couldn't quite remember how do you say his name? Wancho
Yeah.
Hernan Gomez. I couldn't remember how he looked. I could only think of like Willie Gomez. So that was that was a bullet dodge for me. Um, but I thought it was really cool too to see um, like they included guys like the professor and Lethal Shooter in the
Right.
movie.
Yeah, it wasn't just NBA players.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool to see him like showing him just to show kind of like the pay kind of like respect to all those kinds of guys. So and then obviously Adam Sandler was great in it. And surprisingly, the athlete actor, I thought he did a pretty good job. I don't think too much was asked of him from the acting perspective, but I think he was able to do what he needed to do.
Hmm.
Unlike the other basketball movie we watched, where they're trying to get LeBron to have a bunch of emotional range, but yeah, I thought it was
Wait,
great.
are
I
you referring to the fake version of Space Jam?
fake Space Jam sequel. Yeah,
Yeah, like the dollar store version of
yeah.
Space Jam.
The we have Space Jam at home.
I will
Space
say
Jam.
this is that Netflix's $275 million deal that he signed with Netflix, they have really hit something here. I know that they had a bunch of other movies as well, but they really knocked it out of the park. So, for me, especially the platform, like if there's like a oh you have to see this movie kind of thing, I think if you watched any NBA or you kind of are a student of the game, so to speak, you'll really appreciate it because there's definitely a lot of like touches that make this less like oh it's just another one of those underdog kind of stories and you're kind of like I thought that for some reason like halfway through the movie it was just going to be like a done deal, like everything was going to be fine, but it had so much character to it, and the fact that Anthony Edwards plays some dude named Kermit, that was
Yeah,
the best. I mean, he really stole the show from me, honestly.
yeah. He
So
played a really good antagonist.
I mean, it's not hard when you're Anthony Edwards and you're dunking on people. It's just
Yeah,
like, dude, play yourself, but talk more.
right.
Score for you, Stu?
I give it a 9.
Okay, me too. That's what I'm doing. And I'm actually really surprised that you know they let Adam Sandler kind of build a movie that's not like the slapstick comedy anymore, like kind of
Yeah,
thing. Like
but
giving
it
him a
still had
chance to
its
kind of
like
get more.
it still had its humor to it. That's what I really liked about it. It had a good combination of like humor and kind of like the drama, aspect, sports action to it.
Mhm.
So
and it had good pacing. It definitely put everything in the right light. I mean, I feel like they they leaned on the fact that there was a lot of NBA players in there, but of course they couldn't give everybody their time in the sun. I felt like Queen Latifah's name is on the headliner board, but she really plays such a minor role. But it's still good anyways. But yeah, I would love to see a little bit more of that interaction. But we all came and we all got what we asked for, and that was basketball. And I feel like I know that I don't know if anybody's made this comparison, but you know how like Kobe wrote the the short film
Your basketball.
Dear Basketball.
Yep.
I feel like this is Adam Sandler's version of that, right? Because you can tell how much he loves the game of basketball and the history in the NBA and wanting to do it correctly and really showing the side of the story that you don't normally see, right? Whenever you see the rags to riches story or the underdog story, it's like, oh, you follow this player who had like humble beginnings and blah 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 and that kind of stuff, and he goes straight to the NBA and he makes it, right? This
Right.
is coming from a different perspective, from a scout's perspective. You normally don't get to see that outside of like, reminds me of the movie Moneyball with Brad Pitt.
Oh yeah.
It kind of reminds me a lot of that, right? It's like, oh, people don't trust him and that kind of thing. And obviously, instead of Brad Pitt, you put Adam Sandler in that role, and you would think it's like, oh, it's mostly just fun and games and stuff like that. But no, he really delivered it. I really enjoyed it. So, um, there's not too much for us to do in a spoiler zone, so I really don't think we need to. But is there anything you wanted to talk about before we go ahead and wrap this one up today?
Um, I mean, I thought this was probably one of the kind of like the best kind of I don't know what you call it, but basically a movie where you're kind of like casting like real people in it, either to play themselves or to if they're playing someone else. Like Kenny Smith was, he's playing a character, but you have other people. You got a bunch of cameos from a bunch of actual basketball players, and you got Dr. J in there. I think this is one of the movies, like the only movie I can remember that did it pretty well, did it pretty seamlessly.
Mm-hmm.
The one of the things that made me laugh though is that there's one scene when I think Bo Cruz he's like first showing up to like a some kind of combine game or some kind of like basketball game showcase,
Oh yeah.
and Kyle Lowry's there,
Oh.
and he's like, "Oh, I'm a big fan." I'm like, "Dude, nobody's a big fan of Kyle Lowry. Shut up."
I love that the fact that like Kyle Lowry had like at least a speaking role. So did Chris Middleton randomly.
Mhm.
Um, and then you see, what's his name? Tobias Harris
Yeah.
also has a speaking role. And then it's just like random how like some people like Trey Young said something at the very,
Yeah.
very end. I was just like, outside of the shock value, Irene was asking me this question. He goes, "How much do you think they paid them?" And I was like, "I'm pretty sure Adam Sandler approached these guys during All Star Weekend and said, "Hey, would you like to be in a movie?" And they probably said yes, and that was it.
Mhm.
You didn't have to pay them anything because I mean, when was the last time Trey Young would be in a movie outside of a State Farm commercial, right?
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I'm sure they got paid something for just their agent was probably more like, "Oh no, you got to pay him this. You got to pay him this amount of money for this many words for him to say."
I
Or
see.
something. I'm sure there was some like I'm sure they personally probably would have been down to do it, but like I'm sure the
But
business
for
side of it would have.
But I feel like if you had to ask Trey Young to like express emotionally this like list like this sentence or this like a sentiment to the character Bo Cruz, I'm pretty sure it'd be like, you know what, I think this is more of a liability than we're gonna get anything out of it. But um I'll leave you with this. If let's say for example he kept calling him the cruise missile,
Mhm.
is there a better nickname that you would have wanted to give him
No, that was an
instead?
awesome nickname. I don't know why he kept
Right. I
saying it
don't
was
understand.
stupid.
That's why I would have given this a 10. But the fact that he was so defiant about it, I'm docking you a point.
Maybe there had to be like a scene where you had to like explain to the character Bo Cruz what a cruise missile was.
I don't know. But I
Maybe he
also,
didn't know what it was.
yeah, and I also feel like we missed out on an opportunity to see him get drafted,
Oh yeah.
right? Because you see that there's like that super fast forward moment after kind of things come together. Um,
Yeah, but why the Celtics?
oh, you want to know the reason?
Oh,
It's because at the beginning of last season he played for the Celtics. So there's
Oh, he did.
actual that
Oh, okay.
footage is real,
Oh,
and
so
it
that's
was
from a
shot
game.
right. It
Yeah,
was shot from an actual game that he was in.
I see.
So that's the reason why he ended up on that team. If he had started out with, like, for example, the Utah Jazz, um,
Uh,
I think that's what I read. Um, Juancho Hernan Gomez. I'm pretty sure he played for them. He played for them. Current team. When did he play for them? I mean,
Boston.
there's tons of pictures of him playing in Boston.
21,
Yeah,
22.
2021 to 2022. He played in 18 games, averaged 5.5 minutes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the timing kind of works out that way. So he bounced around from Boston to San Antonio, and then he played at Utah. Utah is actually where he had the most minutes outside of when he was playing for Minnesota and at the end of 2020. He averaged like 20 some odd minutes, but I don't know. He's never been a great player,
Right.
but I guess he's okay as an
Maybe
actor.
after all the training he got from this movie, he'll be better.
Right. I'm thinking maybe this is the you and me will fight over him during our NBA fantasy draft
Yeah.
for next year and be like, no,
Did you
I'm taking
see
Bo
his
Cruz. He'd be like,
training?
yeah.
You
Did you
see
see
his
him run up those
montage?
hills? Right. Because it usually takes mountain bikers 2 minutes to get up there. He got up there in a minute 30. Hello. He's got to be good. So,
Did
all
you
right.
see him do the Sham God with the professor?
Woo! That was so good.
I really like that.
Yeah, man, that's
That's
so
probably one
good.
of my favorite scenes when I realized I was like, holy shit, that's the professor and he's doing
Right.
the Sham God.
And you know that he kind of like, I'll leave this. Irene kind of was like, wait, I know that guy from somewhere. I was like, it's the professor. Come on, man. All right. So join us next week as we cover either Lightyear, or if we get outvoted, it'll be
It's gonna be
Lightyear.
Lightyear. Yeah.
So don't forget to like and subscribe wherever you're finding our podcasts. We're available on SoundCloud, Spotify, YouTube, Google, and Apple Podcasts. And check us out on Twitch at twitch.tv/DosNavCincos. As always, I'm your host, David.
I'm Stuart.
And Ben wasn't here, so that's why this one's short. Don't forget to tip your Reiki master. Stay safe out there. We'll see you guys on another one. Okay, bye.
Bye.